Talking about quarterbacks, obviously Carson Wentz. I know you're a huge Josh Allen guy. Buffalo's still favored to take the East at -175 and the conference at +350, but they're now second to the Patriots in the division with a pair of head-to-head meetings left, 2 of those in the next 4 weeks, so it should be pretty interesting. But should Buffalo still be favored in both these spots?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, and I was just using Josh Allen as an example. It could be any quarterback that gets hot at the end of the year, Rodgers, Brady, whatever. But as far as the Bills go, look, the reason they're still favored is simple. I mean, the market still thinks that the Bills are the better team here, and they have 2 games in hand over the Patriots. They're apparently going to be favored. If they had those games right now, the Bills would obviously be the favorites. That's why they're still the favorites in the division. Now, is the Bills the team you want to back here at -175? No, I really don't think that's the case. You're essentially getting the Patriots, as underdogs in those games coming up versus the Bills by betting them at +135. We've seen from the Bills, when their offensive line is clicking and that passing offense is clicking, they can just blow teams out because their defense is still quite good. But man, I mean, at some point, this team has to show a little bit of consistency because it has been few and far between this year. So I think the Bills are still overvalued in the market right now at -175. Are they still the slightly better team? I don't even know if you can say that anymore. The New England defense has certainly surpassed them. New England runs the ball. Buffalo has no running game to fall back on, and that's really been the story of this year. If that offensive line isn't protecting Josh Allen and the passing game isn't clicking, this team can be had. So give me the Patriots here right now. I don't think it's like the supreme bet or you have to do it, but right now you look at those division odds, man. Yeah, you got to lean Patriots.
Geoff, you can be skeptical all you want about whether Pierce has been texting me, but I promise you, Reid and we've been texting all season about these Bills because he knows that I have been a doubter. So, Reid, what's your outlook on this team?
Yeah, I mean, all the Patriots homers and by proxy, the Buffalo downers.
Thank you. Yep.
Exactly. Of course. Right. It makes sense. Everything that Geoff laid out makes perfect sense. But I'm actually going to side with I get why the Bills are still the favorite, right? Because a lot of sportsbook, they want to protect themselves because this team can get hot. We've seen Buffalo get hot, especially towards the end of seasons. They play, obviously, in cold weather, and those close games, they go either way, right, in cold weather. And Buffalo, when you get that type of home field advantage, it's going to make a lot of sense. And you look at their remaining schedule with the Saints, the Patriots twice, like you mentioned, Geoff, the Bucks, and Carolina in their next 5. That's a pretty tough test. Like if they go 3-2, sort of like, I would like to talk about the college playoffs. If they go 3-2 and they actually look decent, it's going to make a lot of sense on why the market, right, is emotionally connected to the Buffalo Bills with how good Josh Allen is playing. There's a correlated stat of him being one of the favorites for the MVP, right? It just looks like that. And if you take a look at their defense and their offense, they're hitting a little bit of a skid. But I have faith in Sean McDermott and Brian Daboll that they have to learn how to adjust, right? We see with Kansas City and Andy Reid, it took a while for Patrick Mahomes to be like, hey, I'm going to check down Charlie this game and beat these teams by 1,000 paper cuts. That's what the Bills have to do. And if they can skate out those next 5 games going 3-2, I still think they deserve to be the favorite. Even though the Patriots, if you look at the last 5 wins, Jets, Chargers, the Sam Darnold-led Carolina Panthers, Cleveland, and Atlanta. Not exactly the best teams out there. And you could argue the same thing for Buffalo, but the Patriots have had a pretty nice test of 5 games, even though they're winning. You got to give them the credit that they're winning those games.